Hi, my name's David. I'm from Australia. I travelled here to Cyprus, to Neomed to get some treatment for Lyme disease. Now it's 2019. I was sick in 2012, got diagnosed 2015, tried a couple of years of antibiotic therapy and another couple of years of herbal medicine. So really, yeah, this was to try something else because I hadn't been able to resolve the problem, and I guess coming here, my story is so similar to so many of the people here. Before I came, you know, my brain wasn't working so well, so on my wall at home I had some big pieces of cardboard, and on them I wrote all the good and bad things about 4 or 5 different places around the world that were treating Lyme. In Cyprus, in America, in Europe, in Malaysia, and eventually got my brain sorted out enough so I could see clearly what the options were and decided to come here. And I haven't regretted that decision since I've been here. When I had some Skype appointments with these different doctors, and of course one of them was with Susanna, the director here, and when I arrived she remembered exactly what our discussion had been and what she had recommended and promised, and she did exactly what she had said that she would do. So I found that really good. The moment I came into the place, it was spotlessly clean, and somehow, no matter how many people are here doing all these different things, it stays clean like a hospital the whole time. The treatments here mainly, they seem to open up all these pathways for detoxification so my body could function a little bit better, and I found the ozone treatment, which I had been pinning my hopes on. I wasn't disappointed with that. The people who gave it to me were very professional. I had no cause. I always felt I was in good hands. And of course, before I came, I suffered a lot of anxiety about if my veins would hold up to it or how I would cope with the treatment. And they were always able to find the veins and to do it. For me, it went very pain-free, and I was anxious about that beforehand, but I really had no reason to be. And all the other treatments, again, I always felt that I was in professional hands and that I was safe, and that I was being looked after. And of course, sometimes, I'd get anxious and end up in the director's office asking, what about this or what about that? And I always found that she was open to listening, and that I was heard, and if there were any adjustments to be made, that she would do that in conjunction with the doctors. Initially, like everyone, I was having trouble working, which makes it more difficult to save money, which makes the decision about where to come quite important, because I couldn't, if this didn't work, I didn't have a choice just to go somewhere else. So it was a long way to come, and I came by myself, but I've seen people come with their carers here, and people with all different levels of health to be looked after here. Of course, my partner was worried about how it would go, and in the first week or two something came up and I needed a bit of a hand, and I didn't have to ask. Susanna had seen it, and she came up with a solution and something to help me straight away. And it became pretty clear to me at that point that it wasn't really about the money. She could have asked me for something, but they went out of their way to help me. And in the back and forth, my partner also quickly came to understand that they were looking after me here, and that neither of us had anything to worry about. If you are a patient here, whether formally or informally, every day the staff will be checking in to see how you are, and in their own fun and polite way, they will be keeping an eye on you, and to help you through any things that come up for you. I was lucky in that I didn't have any problems come up. I didn't have any major herc symptoms, apart from sometimes getting a bit tired, and that seems to be the way they're working the treatment, that you have some treatments which can give you these die-off symptoms, and they combine them with other treatments which will help your body eliminate the toxins. So from my experience, I had a very good experience here. I came initially on a 4 or 5 week program with the view to see if it was working, that I would stay longer. So I've ended up staying here for 10 weeks and just extending my program as I went, if I still thought that it was helping me. My process here, it hasn't been like a light switch going on and off, that suddenly first I was sick and suddenly after 1 week I was well. When I did my research before coming, it was a common thread that the doctors had said, if you've been sick for 6 years, then you shouldn't expect just to come for 1 week and to get better, because it's just not realistic. Before I came, I spoke to some people who had been completely had their symptoms leave after coming to Neomed, and one of the common things was that they had continued to do things after they left. So I think it's realistic for me to expect to have to keep doing things and to keep getting better. People say that the trip home can knock them about, and that when they return home into their old world, that there's a period of adjustment. But I feel like I've got some tools to go home with and to keep on improving and to keep going. I've talked to some people who've come here once and they've got better, and I've talked to some people who I've met here who are back for their 2nd or 3rd time, and every time they've improved and they've felt reason to be hopeful and to spend money to come here again. So you'd love to be able to say, come here and you'll get better. But from what I've seen over the 10 weeks and the people that I've talked to, it seems like that it would be reasonable to expect that you will feel much better when you leave than when you arrive. And how much better or how long it takes, these are the things that only the gods know. So yeah, I wish you well in your recovery, and I hope everyone gets better and can get back to enjoying their life and doing the things they came to do. So thank you, Neomed, that was really good.